I just guessed, I didn't measure. Just kind of eyeballed it. So the way today's going, I would not expect it to work out. Welcome back to the 1882 project. In this video, we're going to attempt to install a new seat that I got in from eBay. So we've already pulled apart the original seat track assembly and seat that was on it. There's going to be some modifications required, so we'll walk through that process, and hopefully at the end of the video we'll have something like this sitting right here. So let's get started. So here's where we are now on the 1882 seat replacement. I took the sliders off of the original mounting plate here, and what I'm going to attempt to do is free these sliders up so they can actually work properly, because they were not working at all on the tractor. It was really tough to get them to move. After they're freed up, I'm going to reinstall them to the bottom of the seat base, and then take this seat, take the sliders off of this one, and try to mount it directly to this seat base here. I mocked it up to begin with, and it was way too tall, sitting on top of these sliders here, and then also sitting on top of, the original sliders here. So I'm going to attempt to make that work. Because the tractor, the seating position on this tractor is a little steep, for me anyway. I'm 6'4", so I'm going to try to get the profile as low as possible while still retaining, the factory functionality. I could make some custom bases for, like a custom base for the other seat. Make some risers for the sliders on the other seat so it clears the fender pan. But then, you lose everything that's going on in here. There's a spring-loaded seat switch assembly underneath, and then there's these springs here. So I'm going to try to work with the existing design as much as possible. I think that'll be the simplest solution. And the first step in that is to free up these sliders. So I started with this one here, and I removed this return spring on the lever, which is this guy here. And after removing the return spring, I wasn't trying to fight this lever, and I started slowly working the track back and forth and back and forth. And there's still some work to be done on this one, but I can move it with my thumbs now. I could not before. So, a combination of, sitting outside for years and probably being adjusted very seldom caused this one to seize up pretty bad. And now it's moving pretty freely. All I did was just spray a bunch of WD-40 down in there and just kept working it like this until it finally loosened up. And like I said, there's still some sticky spots in it, but overall it works pretty well. So here's what I've got. Original seat tracks off of the new seat. I'm not going to use these, so I've taken these off. Spent quite a while getting these to move like that. They're rusty and worn out and just really poor in general. The way these work is you've got a little roller ball here and another roller ball here in between these two dimpled areas. And then on the bottom of the track, you have another dimpled area here and here that staggers these dimples like this. So if that's sitting there, there's a dimple here and here. And what happens is the rollers that sit in between these two dimples move and hit those stops to go one way or another. Accommodate for the load. It's a bearing, more or less. There's two bearings. One of the bearings, there's 4 total, 2 for each track. One of them was actually laying on the floor pan of the tractor when I got it, and I wondered where it came from. Well, I found out. In addition to those bearings, there's also nylon inserts here and here, and they prevent the track from being too sloppy because the clearance here at the end, it takes up the slop in the track so that when the track moves, the balls don't just fall out. So anyway, it took quite a while to work this one free. This one was really, really difficult. This one wasn't as bad, but it's still, there's even still some spots where they're not great. They do move now, though, and so I bolted them back to the main base. And, yeah, so that's been taken care of. And I've mocked this up on the tractor to kind of get an idea of where to attach the seat base to the actual seat. So there's 4 holes here, and the nuts on the bottom side of these bolts can slide inside of these. There's slots in the seat, so the nut can slide back and forth in the slot to accommodate for a change in mounting width. But there is no accommodation for change in mounting length. Kind of stuck with these two, this center distance here. So you can move the bolts like this, but you can't move them like that. So I'm going to, I can't do anything with the 2 bolt holes here that came from the factory, so I'm going to have to use some new ones. I'm going to drill 2 new holes here, and we'll see how that works. I might end up moving it to another set of bolt holes, but for now, this is what I'm going to work with. I've mocked it up on the tractor once just to see, and it seemed all right. Like I said, it's the seating position in general is too high for me, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I know on the Supers, they actually mount the fender well up a little higher in the back for clearance. So I've already marked the new holes to be drilled here. We're going to go in this slot here. There's a nut. There's another nut. And I'll just double check and make sure they're going to line up all right. There. Yeah, be good enough. Good enough for who it's for. I'm going to punch these here. In here. We'll go in with the pilot. One of the advantages of using a wooden table. There and there. Now we'll go in with these are the bolts that come with the seat. If you have a question about the seat that I'm using, then put it down in the comments. I'll let you know where I got it. I'm going to use a 5/16 drill bit. knock some of the burrs off. Should just barely drop in. Yep. So if I got that wrong, it's not going to work because those are a nice tight fit. So let's see. Let's see what we get. I just guessed. I didn't measure. Just kind of eyeballed it. So the way today's going, I would not expect it to work out. Yeah, to get these to start, the nuts drop real far down into the slot there. So just to get the nuts started, you have to have pretty much the full length of these bolts. And to center it, I'm just going off the molding in the seat here and the stamping on the plate here, and I'm just kind of centering that right there in the slot as much as possible. Oh, it would have been nice to use block nuts, but not today. And yep, that'll work there. Come here. Oh, look at that. That's nuts. I might end up replacing these with a little bit longer bolt, but I don't know how much longer I can really get because I think it'll bottom out inside the seat. It'll be fine, right? It'll be just fine. It looks pretty well squared up. Yeah, looks alright. I'm just going to snug them. And you'll see I offset the seat in the rearward direction because I'm freaking tall and weird and things don't always work out for me. I'm ridiculously, unnecessarily tall, as someone has told me before, and yeah, almost everything's a little bit awkward. Okay, so they're just snugged. I don't have them super tight, but that's good enough. Good enough for now. Yeah, I'm gonna go mount it onto the tractor, and we'll see how it does. One last bolt. Yeah, these shoulder bolts are pretty gnarly too. There it is. It feels good. Yeah, we'll have to play with the seat position a little bit, but it's actually a really nice seat. Really comfortable. Probably great for mowing. The only problem that I have is that the hydro control is so far away that really that lever should be like out here somewhere closer to where my hands are. The steering wheel's in a decent position. That's with the seat all the way up. Actually, with the seat all the way up, it's really comfy. except that my legs are a little bent. So we'll move the seat up one. Yeah, I can reach the hydro control real well right there. I can reach the brake. I can reach the turning brakes. Those are a little funky, but my legs are just so long, it's kind of awkward no matter what I do. But this is, yeah, I can get down with that. That's all the way forward. Yeah, that's all the way forward. I don't like my legs being like that, but that's comfortable otherwise. Still a far cry better from the old one. All in all, well worth the money. The seats are not cheap, no matter what you do. So, if you guys have questions, let me know. And we'll move on with the rest of the project. Thanks for watching.